special edition episode in which we are going to be playing with um, the creator
Leo.
of Parselings. I am MrRPGHour, they, them.
Mrs. RPGHour, she, her, or they, them.
I am Jonathan Andrews, he, him.
And I guess I'm Leo, the creator of Parselings. He, him.
So, right now we are doing sort of a character creation that we're picking pre-gens. I don't know.
So, out of all the pregens, there are about 6 different pregens that come with the module Inferno Memorial Station. We've got the artist, the athlete, the tradesman, the musician, the teacher, and the student. Now, all of these play roughly the same. It's more, I guess, an outlier to who you want to play in this session, an idea, because we'll be building up the character right here, right now, with everyone together.
Okay. I have so many things on my screen. Hang on.
It's all good.
Okay.
But while the rest of the players are deciding, I'll be running as the GM today, and this game will be set in a place called Nominal City. It's your typical metropolis, supported by shipping, tourism, and a strong financial sector. It's set on a peninsula that was once a fishing town and has been overtaken by an ever expanding block of skyscrapers. The fishing districts are slowly dying out as, again, things are becoming more and more corporate, more about trade. And everyone in this world is kind of a little bit too busy. They're kind of, I guess, self-absorbed into their own issues. They're too busy to see or look at other people or the world around them. And it's really a few steps different from the world that we live in right now. Among the city, strange things have been happening. There's been a strange flu that's been spreading over the last couple months. There's been a wave of corporate takeovers as many of the smaller businesses have been bought out by an organization known as Fairbrook's Pharmaceutical. And there's been a lot of missing pets all over the city. There's missing cat posters that you can't escape from. With every couple steps you take, you encounter like 10 or 15 of these posters. But we'll be starting with our characters, our players, beginning out on the train station. Just at the end of a long day and perhaps even the beginning of a longer night, they'll be entering into a train and taking a seat. But before we get into all of that, we're going to be picking some characters. Now, the way this game works is that we use a deck of cards rather than dice to determine the fate of the characters. And essentially, players will be drawing X amount of cards during any check they want, any action they want to take, and they'll be looking for specific suits to undertake actions. And we'll get more into that once they do select the characters.
So I'm still thinking on mine, but y'all seem to have kind of picked something. So if y'all want to go ahead and talk about.
I picked the musician.
Okay. So let's build up the musician a little bit.
Okay.
So what I'll get you to do, just on your screen, you should see a couple spinners. There's a D10 spinner and there's a D20 spinner. What I'll get you to do is to roll the D10 spinner for me twice.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, I was confused at where the spinners were, and now I found them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what numbers did you roll?
So the D10 spinner twice, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my computer's very slow. I rolled
That's okay.
a 3 and a 4.
All right,
7
3
total.
and a 4. So now, if you take a look on your stat sheet, you are the artist, correct?
The
Or is it
musician.
the musician? Okay, the
Yes.
musician. So if you take a look at your stat sheet, at the very bottom, there's something called a word pool, and there's something called aspects and augments. There's 2 different lists.
Okay.
Now, these kind of describe things your character. They describe your character or what they're known for.
Okay.
So out of the aspects, you've got the choice between brass and breath. So what kind of musician do you want to be?
That is a good question. I didn't think about it that far.
Mhm. Well, which word seems to speak to you more, brass or breath?
Let's do breath.
Okay, breath, easy
Yes.
peasy. So this is your aspect. These are nouns that describe or can represent your characters. And when it comes to the magic of the system, this is going to be the target for magic. So
Okay,
whenever
cool.
you do magic, it'll be related to breath. Whenever you're the center of the magic. Now, what I'll get you to do is hit the D20 spinner 3 times. This is to select your augments. These are the other words that describe your character, and these kind of help when you're trying to add on to someone else's magic.
Nice. Okay. 5.
Yep.
16. 6. How many times
Okay.
did I do this? That was 3.
3, that's correct. So now you've
Okay.
gotten the augments of rich, grace, and harmonious. So
Okay, cool.
these are the things that sort of describe your character. So what does this tell us about your the musician?
So I like. So rich doesn't necessarily mean wealth
Mm-hmm.
to me. It could mean like, or not necessarily like monetary wealth, but it could be like they have a lot of friends or they have a close community that they can rely on for things that,
Yeah.
money isn't necessarily something that they have to have. Like,
Okay.
rich in
Mhm.
life rather than rich in the pocket.
All right. And how about grace and harmonious?
Well, I think all musicians have a form of like physical grace. Playing an instrument requires, even percussion instruments require some form of physical grace in order
Mhm.
to make beautiful sounds. So I'm thinking like they're very physically graceful. So
Okay. Nice. So what we're getting here is a general gist of what people think of your character. Now, these things may or may not be true, but they
okay,
sort of help build up an image for who your character is. So have a little bit of a think about that, and we'll come
okay.
back to you. And Jonathan, you
Yes, sir.
said that you're picking the artist. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Could I get you to go through the same process? Roll me that D10 twice, and then we'll pick one, and then 3D20.
Okay, got a 7 and a 1.
All right. Easy. So you've gotten the aspects of colors and I think pen. What one would you like to choose?
Colors.
Okay, colors. And there's 3D20 for me.
Okay. 19, 12, and 3.
So you've got the words planned, tired, and new. So the way people see your artists is that they're known for their colors, or perhaps they have a color. Um, they're also known as planned, tired, and new. So tell me a little bit about the artist.
All right. So Maybe he's a painter that had an idea of what he wanted to do, but kind of rammed his head against the wall. And now he's having to go with something different. He has been worn out. He's still a little worn out maybe, but he has new plans. He's
Okay.
going in a different direction.
So would you say he's innovating then?
Sure.
Okay. Sounds good. And then lucky last, Mr. RPG, what did you pick? Who did you pick?
I think I'm gonna go with the teacher.
The teacher, okay. I'll get you to do that same process. Roll me a d10, 2d10, and then 3d20.
4, 6, 13.
Is that the d20s or is that the d10s?
4 and 6 were D10, and then 13 was D20.
Okay, can I get you to roll the d20 twice?
Oh, sorry.
2 more times, thank you. All good.
All right. Sorry, making notes. 17 and 9.
So, you've got the choice between math and model. What would you like as the noun that describes your character?
Math.
Okay, math. All right, easy peasy. And you're also old, bitter, and you teach. Those are the 3 words that describe your character.
Wow.
So, what does that tell us as a group about your character, the teacher?
They're very stern and stuck in their ways. They even avoid sometimes looking at new things in the light that they are, but rather tries to look at them as they would be compared to an older method or methodology. Not necessarily that they're going to shy away from it, but instead of teaching something like a new form of math in the way that it's directly presented, they would try and compare that method directly in how the old method works and try and do a side-by-side comparison. But they may skew the results in their own way.
Okay, easy. So they're not the nicest teacher around, are they? They're interesting and they've got very different teaching methods to a lot of people that are being taught right now. So they may clash with the students. Is that basically what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Character. This is the character.
This is the character, of course.
Yeah.
Now, as far as things go, when a parsing makes magic, they will always require 2 people and they need to be in contact with each other. So if we had a parsing with the word cold and and another parsing with the word shoulder, they could make the parse cold shoulder. Now, what do you think that does?
Isolates them in their actions from the rest of the world.
Absolutely. They could isolate themselves, they could isolate someone else, or they could literally make someone have a cold shoulder. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use a parse, but it always starts with the parsings touching each other, like in a non-lewd way, and deciding how they want to mix their words. At the core of each parse, you'll have an aspect, and then we can use any other words to describe the parse. But each character can only add 1 word. So right now, as a group, you've got the words color, breath, and math. So these are the subjects of your magic. How you want to use it will always be up to you guys. So which is why in chat, I've typed out those words for you so that we can always reference it back. Now, what I'm going to get you guys to do is we're going to make the first check of the game. So can I get you guys to hit the recall and shuffle button on your screens?
Okay.
And we're going to do our first check. So what I want you to do is find on your sheet, let's go insight and perception. There's a number next to each one of those words. And I want to draw that many cards. So for the teacher, that's 4 cards. For the artist, that's 6 cards. And for the musician, that is 4 cards. So this is the basis of a check. And in a deck of cards, we've got 4 different suits. We've got the diamonds, we've got the spades, we've got the clubs, we've got the hearts. The hearts refer to your ability to communicate with others, your ability to socialize. The clubs are all about dealing with the world in a very physical sense, whether you want to punch it or whether you want to unlock something. The spades is all about what you see and what you understand and how you react to things. And diamonds is all about your willpower and your determination. So, can I get you guys to tell me how many spades you got and what cards? And we'll go through it individually.
Okay. I'll go first because
Yep.
I have them right here.
Okay.
Uh,
You will need to use the deck from the playingcard.io
okay.
because each deck is tailored to the character.
Okay.
Yes. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But essentially, we're looking for spades in this check. And since you've drawn 4 cards as the musician, anything above a 4 becomes a 1.
Okay.
So,
Let's see.
the teacher has a 2 and a 5 in spades, and
Okay.
a 3 and a 4 in hearts.
Okay. So what this tells us is that they've gone 2 successes for the 2 of spades, and with the 5, they've only gotten 1. So they've got a grand total of 3 successes altogether. So the idea is that you've got what you can do with the image stats, with the intelligence or insight, and your skill or your experience in this area with your perception of 2. So even though you may have gotten that 5, that's a little bit beyond what you know how to do. It's a little bit too complicated. So the teacher has gotten 3 successes. How about the artist?
How many dice was I supposed to draw? I mean, how many cards was I supposed to draw again?
I believe you had to draw 6 cards
Was it 6?
because you've got
Okay.
an insight of 3 and a perception of 3.
Okay, so I drew 3 spades, 6, 5, and a 2.
6, 5, and a 2. So you've got a grand total of 13. Now, each character has their own strengths, and this is apparently one of the artists. And how about you, the musician?
Okay.
You're
so
drawing 4 cards from your deck.
yes, I have my 4 cards. I only have 1 spade, and it's a king.
Why would you? Okay. So I think you drew from the wrong deck. Can
Oh.
you draw from the deck that's marked musician?
Okay. That's the deck I drew from.
That's
So.
weird. I guess it just wasn't reset correctly. Sorry, that must have
Okay.
been my bad setting this room up. So, yep, the musician, 4 cards.
Okay. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so no spades.
No spades. All right, so you've got no successes. So this kind of tells us how well someone has succeeded, and this replaces our dice roll. But this is basically a practice check, just to see how we're doing things and how this game works. So as I said before, I asked for image stat. So in this case, it was insight and the aptitude, which was perception. And whenever you do make a check, you'll be asked for a combination of these stats, and that will let you do different things. Now, as far as things go, let's see. Okay. Who wants to go first? We're going to start building up the characters and how they got onto the train.
Sorry, my thing just popped up a weird window.
Okay. But yes.
Sure, I'll go first then.
Okay. All right. So I'll get you to make that same check again, and let me know how many spades you've gotten. Insight plus perception check.
One
right.
spade, and it was a 6.
Okay. All right. So you were the teacher, correct?
Correct.
It's been a long day, and you find yourself at the very end of a train, the last train carriage. Why has your day been long? Has it been a long day for you?
Well, there are days where you have to deal with someone who just doesn't want to listen and learn. And so what happens is you have to just keep trying to work with them and work with them and work with them. And sometimes they just cannot seem to understand how to do or use such a beautiful formula that has been created. And it's just trying to teach somebody how to do fractions is just so difficult. And when you're there for hours after hours trying to teach them and they just can't seem to understand or just don't want to. And then
It's just a bit too much, isn't it?
Absolutely. And then you bump into a musician playing on the street and all they want is your money.
You know, the weird thing is that when you bumped into that musician on the street, you got a little bit of a sensation, a little bit of a tingle. You got these weird feelings that weren't your own.
Gotta lay off the
Now-
scotch.
Of course. And this has been happening ever since you got some tattoos about a month ago. Where are the tattoos on your body? These are the words: math, old, bitter, and teach.
They are... We'll say right over the heart.
Okay, right over the heart. They almost seem to itch when you bump into certain people. And on occasion, you've noticed that they have tattoos as well. But that's all you know so far. Do you remember any? I'll get you to make an intelligence plus memory check, just to remember how you got these tattoos.
Okay, so intelligence plus memory is going to be 6.
This is one of your strong suits.
All right.
And you're looking for spades.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a 3 and a 5 in spades.
So that's a grand total of 8 successes. Now, for every 2 successes, you can tell me one statement about that day when you got the tattoos. Or you can ask a question.
It was an oddly rainy day. The rain had almost a sticky nature to it. And I ended up going home with lots of flyers and stuff like that when I bumped into poles. They seemed to stick to me rather than... So I have a collection by the door now of these flyers that I just keep. I don't know why, but I just keep them.
And as you look at them, they seem to bleed. They seem to have... The ink on the pages have seemingly faded over time, over the last month. And, you know, your good suit, this cheap flies, this cheap printing has kind of marred some of your favorite clothing. Seeing them black with ink, you were sick after being caught in the rain for a couple days. But one day, you suddenly got better, and you found these tattoos just on your chest. Whereabouts on the train are you sitting?
I'll sit on the seat that's right next to a door.
Okay, alright. And what is the teacher's name?
Let's. Well, now, uh, oh my goodness, my brain is just dying now. Let's go with Carson. First thing to come to my
Carson.
mind.
Okay. Alrighty. Is that how you spell Carson? Carson?
I will take it.
Okay. Easy peasy. Who would like to go next?
I guess I'll go next since I had somebody bump into me.
Okay. You got bumped into this old and grumpy looking teacher, and you're hit by a flush of irritation. Would you say the teacher's tired? Oh, okay. Well, okay. A flash of irritation, a flash of, I guess, lethargy. And it's been a long day for you, the musician. Why has it been a long day?
Oh, I've just been wandering around the city, just setting up every so often, playing a few tunes, and then like moving off somewhere else, just kind of wandering aimlessly, trying to brighten people's days a little bit from, just the usual routine. And
Okay.
so it's
Are you busking illegally? And that's why you keep moving around.
well, we don't really talk about that. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So make me an insight plus perception check.
Okay.
4 cards. You're looking for spades.
Okay. So after each check, this is a question. After each check, do I reshuffle or do I continue to draw?
So you send all cards used to the discard pile,
Okay.
or unless I tell you otherwise, you can reshuffle your deck. So this is a part of the game. So figure out what cards you've used
Oh, okay.
and what cards you want to draw next.
Okay. So 1, 2,
So card counting is
3,
inherent in this game.
4. Interesting. Okay. So I drew 2 spades, a 4 and a 5.
4 and a 5. All right. So now you've gotten 5 successes total because you've drawn 4 cards.
Mm-hmm.
The 5 is a little bit beyond your comprehension, what you can do.
Okay.
So you've got 5 successes. Now, you've got either 2 questions or 2 things, or you can make either 2 questions or 2 statements about what you've seen today. Anything odd or peculiar.
Okay. Um okay, so is it either or can you do a statement and a question?
You can do a statement and a question.
Okay, so I have a question. Have I seen this person that bumped into me on this particular train before?
So, Mr. RPG, Carlson, do you regularly come on this train?
I think you're muted.
Depending on how perceptive you would have been in regards to people with like their heads in a book. But yes, this is my normal
Okay.
route.
Okay. Um
Okay. So, yes, you would have seen the teacher regularly on this route.
okay.
Is this your regular route?
I like to switch it up, but there is kind of a sort of routine to how I end up getting to each of, any station in particular. So it's like maybe this this is a Thursday, and around this time I usually catch this particular train on Thursdays to
Right. That's fair.
get home.
And then your next statement. What would you like to say that has been odd about today?
Usually people are pretty receptive to music throughout their day. But today it seems like I've had to kind of move more frequently. People aren't super into
A lot of
performances
people,
today.
a lot of people seem to be distracted by, I guess, themselves. Some of them seem to be peeking under their shirts, rubbing at new tattoos that look vaguely new. And there has been increased patrols in the city. There's a lot more policemen out and about asking questions, and that's always been uncomfortable. But a lot of people seem confused when they look at these tattoos. In fact, you're not really sure how you got your own. Can I get you to make an intelligence plus memory check? You're looking for spades. Did they freeze? Or was that just my Zoom call?
They may be frozen.
Oh, they DC'd.
Oh.
That's
All right.
awkward.
Why don't we skip over to Jonathan, and I will be right back.
All right, sounds good. Now, Jonathan, you are muted if you've been talking.
I've got a lot of noise in the background. Sorry.
Oh, all good, all good. So I'll get you, the artist. So it's been a long day. What have you been up to today?
Well.
Why are you tired?
Oh, I've been out and about doing things. I had a lot of chores I had to get done.
Yeah? Okay. What kind of chores?
Oh, well, I popped over to the craft store to pick up some new paints. I was running a little low on oranges. It's just that time of year, and so I had to get there. And while I was out, I also went by the mailbox and posted some things. I picked up lunch while I was out. It's
Okay.
just been a lot of things.
Yeah, okay, all right. And how's that getting how's that getting you? Like, are you feeling tired, or is this just like the usual?
For sure, I feel like I'm dragging more today than usual. I don't know what it is.
There's a little bit of a muggy feeling in the air, isn't there?
Exactly. It's all got us all yucky and muggy and bad. It's bad.
Okay. Can I get you to make an intelligence, insight plus perception check? So 5 cards for you.
Of course. What do I do with the cards we drew earlier?
So you send them to the discard, or
Is
you
there a
can
fast way to
reshuffle them
do that,
into.
or can I just?
Yeah, you drag and drop. Yep.
Okay.
Or you can reshuffle them into your deck. I don't mind at this point in time.
Let's do that then.
Yep. So if you double click, it'll pull everything back into the deck,
I like it.
including the cards in your hand.
Does that automatically shuffle?
Yes, it does.
All right. And now I need 5, yes?
Yes, 5.
All right. And I'm going for what suit?
You're going for spades.
Well, no spades.
No spades. All right. So you haven't really seen anything out of the ordinary.
I've been
Whereabouts
too
on the
busy.
You've been too busy. You've been. I guess. Where would you be sitting on the train?
I don't sit on the train. Usually I stand. I like to stand where I can look at everybody.
Okay. All right. So would you stay at the doors, next to, say, the teacher, perhaps?
Sounds about right. Is that who he is?
That is who he is. You've maybe recognized this fellow from time to time on this train, if this is indeed your regular route. But
I
I
often
did
try
say.
to match his skin tone when I'm painting.
Okay. Do you just like snap a photo?
Maybe when he's not paying attention, when he's buried in one of his books.
Okay. They. Okay, when in their books. But the artist, you also remember getting some tattoos, so the days are a little bit hazy.
Of course, yes.
Can I get you to make an intelligence plus memory check?
Sure.
Now, you either send the cards that you've got just drawn into the discard, because obviously there are no spades in there.
Right. And let's see, how much was it? It was intelligence plus
Memory.
memory. For me, that's 4.
Yes, that is correct.
I'm going for spades again.
Absolutely.
This time I got a 2 and a 6.
All right, so the 2 takes its full value, whereas the 6 only contributes 1 since you've
3
only drawn
successes.
3 successes. Now, you got these tattoos a little while ago, somewhere within the month. Do you remember what you were doing when you got them, or just
I
before
was
you got them?
probably drinking a little bit too much.
Okay, and you know what? It was raining, and you were seemingly attacked by the missing pet posters. Much like the
Yes.
teacher. You got plastered with them. They got all over your face. Some of them might have even gone into your mouth
Oh,
momentarily. But
it happens.
it happens. You got sick afterwards, obviously, because you drank too much.
Right?
But you woke up with these gnarly tattoos. Where
Well,
are they?
So color is obviously on my forehead. It's a very bold statement. And I'm thinking I probably have my roommate to blame for that.
Okay.
But planned, tired, and new, they're in different places on my body. One's on my wrist, the other one's on my elbow, and another one is down next to my ankle.
Okay. All right. And what is the artist's name?
I am Monty. You can call me Monty.
Okay. Alrighty. Now, are we getting Mrs. RPG Hour back? I think you're muted if you're talking. We
Sorry.
seem to be having. Yep.
So the laptop that she was on completely stopped working. So she's trying to get another one. We have a Chromebook and a really old Windows computer that she's trying to get one of those up and going. So she should be back soon, hopefully.
All right. Well, that's easy enough. Well, what we'll do is get you guys to make another check. The both of you. Can I get you guys to make a charm plus rumors check? Just to see what you guys have heard around your workplaces and what you know about the world. This time, we're looking for hearts.
Uh, 1 heart and it's a 5.
1 heart. And how many cards did you draw?
4.
4. Okay, so you got 1 success. And how about you, Monty?
I rolled six cards and made 8 successes. 6 and a 2.
6 and a 2. So between you guys, you have 9 successes. Now, the way some of these checks work are that you can share your successes between each other. If for every 2 successes you guys have gotten, you get to ask about one rumor about the town, or make a rumor. So, would you like to share your successes between you two?
Of course, share and share alike.
Okay. So
Now, just between you and me, rumors might be kind of my thing. I love rumors. I can't get enough gossip.
Okay. Now, you've got 4 rumors to spread or to hear about. What would you like?
Who is the exciting new thing around town?
The exciting new thing around town is something known as the shifting murals. These beautiful and evocative murals fill the back alleys and hidden places of the city. To the untrained eye, it always seems like they have been painted, but each of these pieces are a little bit different. They always have a different subject, but the main common theme between them is that there's always 7 individuals in the painting. Now, here's the spooky thing. If you watch them for hours on end, they seem to move ever so slowly.
Fascinating. I love stories like that. Your turn, old chap. What do you want to know?
Um, I can't think of anything. You still have one more rumor, so why don't you go
All
for
right.
it?
Then in that case, what is the most salacious, most gobbly bit of gossip going around town right now?
That the flu that's going around, the reason why people are getting sick is manufactured.
Really? Do tell.
It's not natural. No one just not an entire city doesn't get sick like this, especially not in close quarters.
Right?
Um,
Who would
but
have thought?
who would have thought? No, impossible. But it seemingly related, or it seemingly happened around the time the Fairbrooks moved into the city,
Oh,
or
who are they?
made more of a presence. Some people suggest that the products that they're peddling aren't exactly above board.
Ah.
And, strange enough, there's only like 5 people in this carriage, including yourself,
Hmm.
Monty. There's Carlson, there's the unnamed um, musician, and there's 2 others. A gentleman in the front with curly brownish hair, pale complexion in a work shirt, who seems to be sweating a lot and taking an inordinate amount of, I guess, breath mints, you
Hmm.
suppose? Little round pills. And another lady that you do recognize. She's Alana Maleo, the, the secretary for the CEO of Fairbrooks Pharmaceutical. She's been
Oh,
seen making press conferences here and there, at least on the, or at least on the telly.
I'm watching her. She's
Hmm,
somebody to watch.
absolutely. And we still have 2 more rumors to distribute. 2 more pieces of information that you can spread or learn about.
Um,
Would you like a freebie?
yes, I'm completely drawing blanks right now.
You know what? You've actually confiscated your phones from your students every now and again. Because, phones aren't allowed in classes. You're not meant to be texting or on social media or whatever you do on phones these days. But you've actually caught the kids gossiping about the strange photos that they're finding on social media of people that bleed colors other than red. They seem to be red mixed in with some other colors, sometimes black, sometimes blue, sometimes even green. But these photos always disappear very quickly, so the students are always very excited when they do find these photos.
Is
They're pulled.
there anything? Is there anything that looks similar among it? Like, is there anything that kind of like draws everything together?
You did notice one time that there were tattoos written in a very similar font to yours in one of the corners of these photos on someone's skin. And there was another photo that you did see of someone that appears to be floating. Well, 2 people that appear to be floating just in the back alley.
Okay.
And the strange thing is that they had 2 words kind of encircling them.
So the words are visible on the photos themselves.
Yes, they are. The words and free float. These 2 people are holding hands, and they seem to be having the time of their lives.
Huh.
Alrighty. But the train begins to move a little bit. And for now, the musician is groggily asleep. The train leaves the station and it begins to slowly pick up speed. Graffiti murals kind of whizzing past on the walls of the station. And again, as I said, your carriage is mostly empty, save for the five of you. There's a lingering scent of coffee and donuts just wafting under the nose, though there's no apparent reason for the smells to be lingering around. The digital the digital displays at either end of the train read out the final destination, Infer Memorial Station. And up ahead, the train gains. Up ahead, you can see the train about to enter a tunnel. A little bit up ahead. Is there anything you guys would like to do?
I'm
As a
still
recap,
watching Alana Mirallo. If I could get some gossip on her, my friends would be over the moon.
yes. And are you overtly watching this woman, or is it?
Oh, heavens no, that wouldn't be polite. Of course not. I'm, surreptitiously watching her. Don't you
Okay.
know?
And is your hand on the pole, like as in steadying yourself? Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And as far as you can tell, Alana seems a little bit unkempt, at least not as made up as she appears on camera. Her hair seems a little bit out of place. It looks like she's been running, and it's really weird, but you're not sure that someone like her will be riding on the train. Every now and again, she's glancing up from her phone, almost like scanning the train, looking for something, before furiously tapping into her phone. And her eyes are kind of glued onto the screen for a couple moments after that.
I've always wondered, is that hair color of hers natural, or does she have different colored roots? I
It
don't
seems
usually
all
get a
natural.
close view like this.
It seems all natural. It's black all the way down to the roots.
Ah, so beautiful.
Absolutely. And your hand actually gently brushes against the old teacher's, just who's sitting right next to you. And Carson, you get this faint glimpse, this burning curiosity kind of flash through your head as your hands touch his.
Um, and it's the same feeling that I keep getting.
Yes.
I think there's something going around. Because every time I get touched by somebody around here, I get a feeling. And I don't like it. I think my health is at risk here.
Yep.
I'm sorry, have we been introduced? My name is Monty. It is a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Well, one, it is not sir. Two, it is not a pleasure. This place is filthy and disgusting, and have you not smelled? I don't even know what that is. If I did not have to use this as my transportation, I would happily not. And I tell you another thing. Wait, what? Why are you on this? Aren't you supposed to be out there trying to get money to be on here? I don't even think you have a Metro card. Do you have a Metro card?
I believe
Sorry, I'm not talking to
the
you.
delicate aroma you're scenting is croissants, sir. They're making me quite hungry.
Well, one, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the one with the musical instrument over there. I didn't catch what musical instrument you used, so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. So the street busker is back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So you've had a long day, and now this old man, this teacher, I should say, this they them teacher, is berating you, for I guess, living your life. He bumped into you earlier rudely, and you felt a little bit of a flash of irritation, and you can still feel that rolling off of him right now as you look at him. You get the sense that he's irritated. You don't know why. You haven't done anything to him, have you?
Honestly, people get so irritated for the weirdest reasons. Like maybe they saw me earlier and didn't like what I was playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's fine. Everyone's entitled to their existence and the irritation, while, obviously annoying. I mean, there's clearly something bothering them. So, if however they need to work that out, that's totally fine.
Yeah. Your tattoos itch. The ones that
Oh,
read breath, rich, grace, and harmonious. Where are they on your body?
I'm going to say they are on my left side ribs.
Left side ribs. Okay. And can I get you to make an intelligence plus memory check? So you're
Intelligence.
looking for an intelligence of 2 and a memory of 3. So 5
So 5
cards.
cards.
And you're looking for spades. Now, guys, at any time you wish right now, you can reshuffle your deck. But as soon as we get into something a bit more intense, or a high intensity scene, you will need to spend time to reshuffle your deck. So you need to spend a turn.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So 2 spades. I have a 2 and a 3.
So you've got 5 successes in total. Now you get to make either 2 statements or 2 questions or a mix of either of how you got these tattoos. It happened about a month ago.
So I found this really out of the way park, and I was playing music and just hanging out, and I happened to run into some people I knew. So we were all just kind of having a quick little jam sesh, and everybody was having a really great time when suddenly we heard some like city patrol people coming, so we just had to like grab everything and run. And in the scramble I kind of like tripped and fell, and it stung pretty good, but I managed to get up just fine and like just keep running, and we got out of there, and it was like really exhilarating, super fun, and we had drinks afterwards. It was just like kind of a really great like little get together with some
Mhm.
excitement in the middle. It was awesome.
You remember your friends talking about the park mural? They seem to be arguing about the contents of the mural. Each of them tells a different story. And when you were running away from the cops, your hands, you kind of scraped against that wall, with the fresh paint kind of coating your wound.
Okay.
And you got sick afterwards. The paint, when you went to wash it off, had seemingly disappeared. But you were feverish for a couple days. And you woke with these tattoos on just along the left rib, possibly where you ran against the wall. The wall. Because obviously you had to do some pretty sick stunts to get out of there. But now you're sitting in front of are you sitting or standing on this train?
I like feeling the train move, so probably standing.
Okay. So you're kind of standing opposite to two two people. One of them is berating you. Another one is kind of like stalking, maybe watching you very intently.
Oh, okay.
Another passenger of the train. And there's only 5 of you on the train.
Okay. Well, clearly something's bothering the person berating me, but I'm just going to let them get it all out. And, afterwards, once they feel better, to get it out of their system, the catharsis of, just letting go of all that stuff, maybe we can have like a cool discussion about what got them there. And, you know,
Okay.
maybe I can find some inspiration for some maybe lyrics or something for a friend, or you never know what kind of cool stuff you find with people.
You're super chill, the musician. But what is your name?
Devin.
Devon. That's how Devon?
Sure.
Okay. I'm really bad at spelling names. And as you guys. Okay, and it's up to you what you want to do here.
I'm just being berated, I guess, until they're done. Just kind of like a placid, like, let it out, man, smile.
I couldn't do that. I feel so embarrassed. I almost want to take him down myself, you know? It's just like, well, it's not really my business, okay? Going to be polite. I'm going to look the other way.
I'll get everyone to make an insight plus perception check again. Just to see around the train. As this event happens, as this rant goes on from the teacher.
Devin's really familiar with rants like this, so it's like totally fine.
And since it's insight, we're looking for spades. Is that right?
Yes, looking for spades.
Bummer.
Bust.
I got 1 spade, a 5, and I drew 4 cards.
Okay.
You know, 6 cards and didn't get a single spade.
You're not sure, but everyone swears that the train seems to be rumbling, almost mirroring the angry mood of Carson. It's jolting a lot more than the train ride usually does. This train ride normally is a very smooth ride, and I guess the other passengers are just now openly staring at the teacher. You're not sure what kind of look is on their face.
It's not my fault. These things are old. What do you expect? The city isn't maintaining these. Nobody's maintaining these.
In point of fact, he's right, but I'm certainly not going to tell him that. Their head is big enough already.
Absolutely. And through the jostling of the train, a small bag almost rattles at your feet. Let's say the musician, Devon.
Okay.
It's a suitcase almost, a black suitcase with one busted lock and one fixed lock. You're pretty sure this was here on the train before you got there, and the train carriage was empty before you arrived.
Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of hold my hand up for like just to kind of like pause the rant for a second. Look at this cool thing down here. I wonder what's inside.
Ooh, what is it?
Yeah, sorry.
It's a black case, but it looks like one of the locks is broken, but that's cool. You never know what can actually turn out to be useful in the end, even though it appears to be broken on the outside.
Do you say this out loud enough for everyone on the train to hear? Or is it just the people right in front of you?
Devin's loud, I think. Like, even though Devin's really chill and like just kind of go with the flow type person, I think they're very loud.
Okay. You see the lady at the back, the secretary, Alana Milieu. She almost perks up as you say that. Did you say suitcase?
Yeah, Devin's gonna like pick it up and like, or depending on how large it is, just kind of like show it as best they can to like.
Okay. As you pick it up, you can almost hear there's something moving inside. There's like a sloshing sound. Like there's something with a lot of fluid in there. But the woman speaks up. Oh, thank God. I've been looking for that suitcase everywhere.
Oh wow! Like Devin just hands it over, no questions. Like, what are the odds? Like that we would meet and I would find your suitcase. That's like totally wild.
she gives you a tight smile. Yeah, and she tucks. She kind of needles her hair a little bit.
If you don't mind me
Recomposes
asking, what's so important about the case?
Well, honestly, my boss would kill me if I lost it. You know, you know how bosses can get.
Indeed.
And she gives a tight smile, and she takes the case. The case. The train has now entered the tunnel, with the light fading away, and I'm sorry, the natural light, the last moments of dusk disappearing into the darkness as the train lights flicker on overhead, and you hear this strange screeching sound. Can I get everyone to make a finesse plus athletics check? You are looking for
Okay.
clubs.
That's 3 cards.
Now, everyone needs to get, well, each of you individually have to get at least 2 successes here.
Okay. Okay, that's not so bad.
I'm so sorry. What are we rolling?
Finesse plus athletics.
4.
4 successes for me.
All right.
So I guess.
I have a 2 and a 3, and I pulled 4 cards.
Alrighty, that's enough.
I drew a single 4.
Okay. And how many cards did you draw?
3.
3. Okay.
Yep.
So as you're handing this woman the briefcase, the lights suddenly go out. You feel her crashing into you as you both tumble to the ground. You feel something wet and sticky on your forehead. Sticky on you as you kind of as the lights turn back on. This time a red hue. The emergency lights have been triggered, and the train is no longer in motion. So what's happened to your character is that they've taken a wound, and basically this is the first bit of damage that they've taken. This is the first bit of damage. And we remove the top card of your deck and place it in
Okay.
the wounds pile. This
Oh,
card,
interesting.
yeah, so when you get hurt, your options begin to run low. Now, just because this is the way the system works, this program works, I'm going to shove it into my hand so that it doesn't get accidentally reshuffled into your deck. Okay, so now you're missing the 2 of hearts, so you're a little bit less sociable. Perhaps you're a bit angry or a bit uncomfortable that you've fallen. Maybe it's dark. Maybe you've got a phobia, and a little bit less talkative, essentially.
Okay.
No,
This
are
is
you
what.
all right? Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You. Yeah. Go.
Yeah, I think so. Kind of stand up and like help Alana up. Just kind of disoriented a little bit.
There's a bit of blood on your shirt, but it's not yours. It's hers.
Oh my gosh, are you bleeding?
And she doesn't seem to be responding. It seems that she fell awkwardly, or when during the fall, her head struck the suitcase in a rather unfortunate fashion.
Do we need
There's
to
a
be
head
calling
wound.
an ambulance?
Over the PA system, you guys hear the following statement. There has been an unexpected accident on the tracks. Please remain in your seats and await further instruction. And outside, you can hear the rumbling of the tunnel as it almost seems like parts of the tunnel are collapsing outside.
What's going on?
What would you guys like to do?
This is
Wow.
making me very uneasy.
Poor construction, poor maintenance. I mean, we're lucky that any of this works anyway. But I am not interested in sitting around and doing nothing. I'm going to try and get a better look. I'm going to try and make my way up a car if possible.
Okay. So, As you head up, you notice that someone else is getting up. The gentleman at the front of the car is getting up. He says, he puts it out his hand. It's fine. I'll go have a look. You rest your chops, Grandpa.
Now listen here. You have no respect for your elders, and talking to someone that way, regardless of their age, is just absolutely horrible. And I will tell you this, just because we're in a out of the way place does not mean I will not have you go outside and pick a switch to teach you a lesson.
You, hey, dude, you just need to really chill, man. Just chill. And you also need to work on that breath of yours. He holds out a breath mint.
I take it. These have chemicals in them that can damage your body, and I throw it.
Okay. He shrugs. Well, just sit tight, and I'll get some help.
Okay, as soon as he leaves the car. And another thing, you never know if these kids have actually made drugs that look like mints. Designer drugs exist. Do not take something from a stranger. It is safer
hate-
that way.
Yeah, sorry.
I hate to say it, but like, people don't just hand that stuff out.
We are from different eras where that stuff was handed out in my day. And I will tell you, from experience, it is not always safe to just take something that looks like a breath mint from someone. Whew. 4 states away, and I still have no clue how I got there.
Actually, can I get you to make a cunning plus rumors check just for that?
Sorry, cunning and rumors?
Cunning and rumors.
Okay.
Looking for hearts.
All right.
Okay.
4 cards, and I got a 5 of hearts.
So that's one success. So I'll say this: you have seen this kind of mint around the school, and you're pretty sure the kids that you've seen have a history of using.
And I will tell you from experience, and by that I mean the youths at my school that I teach at have had these with them, and many of them are users of the drugs. And it is not the same as when I was a kid.
I would, I guess, hope not.
It was safer back in my day, if you could call it safe, but it was safer in a way. These kids these days, they just will toss anything into this. They will toss anything into this. I mean, heck, I had a kid trying to steal Drano so that he could make something with it. Drano! Kids these days can't just go up into the woods and pick something that grows naturally or start their own little horticulture club and grow it on school property like we did. I mean, I'll never understand them.
What are you up to, Monty?
I'm very concerned about Alana.
All right.
She has she been responding? I don't know the first thing about medicine or first aid, but I am very concerned, let me tell you.
I'll let you make an intelligence plus medic check.
No, anything but that. All right, fine. And it's for spades, right?
Yeah, spades.
Well, I drew 2 spades, and I
Okay.
made 2 successes.
Okay, so you know this much. She's got a head injury. She's bleeding from a little bit of a cut, from the from hitting the suitcase, and it's easy enough to help stop the bleeding. She's
Wait. I had a friend at our last house party that hit his head. Okay, so we're supposed to like not touch her and not move her, and we're supposed to do something about the bleeding. Is that right?
absolutely.
Very good. Yes, I am so good. My
Um,
roommate will be so proud of me.
she's a little bit groggy, but she says thank you. Oh God, that was clumsy. She's finally starting to respond. So her she does comment that her vision is a little bit blurred.
Just stay where you are, Miss Malou. Don't worry about a thing. We will handle everything as soon as they tell us what to do. They told us to stay here. We don't know what to do. I'm very concerned.
Okay. So, what would you guys do if this happened to you?
Is
Miss
first aid
Reddy?
not taught anymore? I mean, we have to have it just to be able to be around these kids. But apparently I did not do very well in my learning. So I would like to try and do a little something for her. But my medic is a 1. So is this gonna be intelligence or insight?
Intelligence.
Okay.
Intelligence.
I've only got 3 cards left. Do I recall them, shuffle them all?
It's up to you.
That's a
So
yes.
you could either. So it depends on what you think is left in your deck. If you take a look at the top of your deck, there's a deck. There's a deck list, so you can see how many spades you've gotten, how many clubs you've got, how many hearts you've got. So you can sort of see the percentage with your deck.
I am so glad that I reshuffled because 1, I already knew that I didn't have a whole lot of left. But that's a 2 and a 6 with. Wait, hold on. That was intelligence and medic. Yes, that's 4.
Yep.
So that's a 2 and a 6 with a 4-card draw.
So 3 successes. You, again, know that you need to clean the wound. Make sure that you need to stop the bleeding, and she really shouldn't be moving too much.
I would have figured y'all would have been the kind of kids to end up
And you do
in.
know this. One extra thing. Sorry.
Yes.
The blurred vision could be a sign of a concussion.
And I would have figured you kids would have been the kind to end up inside of detention on Saturdays, where I know most of these schools around here still have you go through basic first aid. I mean, come on. Can't you see? Potential concussion.
Oh, right. So what do we do about a concussion, teacher?
Well,
That's the one where we're supposed to hold up fingers and have them tell us who's president. Is that right? Wait, Batman's in there somewhere.
I am seriously worried about you. Are you already on drugs?
Batman?
Only the most positive recreational things, I assure you.
Okay, look. Just need to make
And not
sure.
currently, sadly. Although I could really use some. Does anybody know what's going on with the tunnels?
Would you guys like to look outside?
I'll start droning on about what to do for a concussion and just assume that they're doing that while
In
I'm
heavens, yes, I am
focused on
definitely
her.
looking outside.
Okay. Make me an insight plus perception check. I'll give you the gist of what's going on, and every 2 successes you get to ask additional questions. So in this game, it's always sort of like this. It's always sort of like you get given information regardless of what you get, but you get extra information for succeeding. Outside, it's hard to see just through the dim lighting offered by the emergency lights, but it looks like there's rubble filling up the tracks, covering up portions of the train, and you swear there's something moving outside. Something dark. Something black.
I got 7 successes. Is that enough to tell me more about it?
Absolutely. You get 3 questions. What would you like to know?
Well, you said it's dark and it's moving. Is it a bad guy?
It doesn't appear to be a person. Rather, it seems to be maybe cats.
Wait, say what?
And as you look closer, you start to see little paw prints go up the side of the window.
That's not terrifying at all. What's it doing in the subway? Is
What do
that a
you
question?
mean?
Yes, I think that's a question.
You don't know. I'm sorry. As far as you can tell, there were reports of cats being seen at the subways, but there's also been reports of a lot of cats going missing. Maybe this is where they all ran off to.
Right.
These tunnels are poorly maintained. They probably found some rats down here. They're probably enjoying all the free food. At least somebody's taking care of them. And I mean the rats.
And as you're talking, you actually, as the teacher is talking, you actually see one of the cats press its head up against the window, and it doesn't look quite normal. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes
On the same
Pressed up.
cat?
on the same cat pressed up against the window.
Oh, that's not normal. Do you guys see that? Are you counting those eyes? I'm counting like what, 4, 5, 6. I count a lot of eyes, and there are only supposed to be 2 there.
I
And
told
it
you,
begins-
drugs.
The cat begins to press against the window harder and harder, and the surface begins to ripple. You see the word slip, almost being sliding across the window surface. And this is what you see. I've sent it to the Zoom chat.
You're right. I will never take drugs again.
You see an inky, like liquid-like cat push its way through the window of the train.
Okay,
Ink
that's cool.
dripping.
I've got to get my sketch pad.
That's really cool. You should definitely get your sketch pad.
Now, who is opening doors and letting animals in? We need to
It's
try and
coming-
keep this as clean as possible for everyone to be able to recover from their injuries.
It's coming through a solid window pane.
I'm not.
Yes,
fully
yes,
paying attention to
terrifying.
that.
Now just let me get the Weskers right. Hang on, cat. No, stay there.
And you start to see that there's multiple cats pushing their way through the carriage, through the windows. About 3 in total.
Well, that's too many for me.
Um,
Okay. Nope. Anybody else? Nope.
I'm gonna grab the briefcase that she had taken earlier, since I'm still next to her, and
Yep.
I'm going to try and swing it at one of the cats.
Are you swinging to hit or swinging to scare them off?
It was swinging to scare it off.
Okay, I'll get you to make a force plus manipulation check. You're trying to intimidate them.
Force plus manipulation.
Yes, force plus manipulation. Now, I know these do cross colors, but you are looking for clubs because you're doing a physical act. You're doing a physical show of force to intimidate them.
Oh, wait, how many is
Um,
that? That's 1, 2, 3. All right.
I take it not great.
No, I unloaded a bunch of hearts though, which would have been great for manipulation.
It's ineffectual as your case actually swings really close to them, and their bodies just seem to peel back, sort of like fluid-like, avoiding the blow.
Cats really are more
We get
liquid.
the worst tirade of words, and you go and swing a stupid gaze at them completely ineffectually. Why didn't you just talk to them like you bored us for 2 minutes?
I did not try and draw them.
They
No,
were very cool. Shut up.
don't try and befriend them. That will bring more. We do not want more. They already have food outside of here. They can go eat the rats.
Wait, you don't
If
think
you-
they're going to eat us, do you?
If you'd like to try and befriend the cats, make me a charm plus animal check.
Okay.
Whoever's
I was doing the sound. Anyway.
yes.
Okay, so that's 4. 2, 3,
May I remind you that cats with 5 eyes are creepy and should
4.
not be befriended under normal circumstances.
I drew 1 heart and it's a 4.
So
I will
Um,
say
yeah, you're good. You keep going.
I will say that it's not always what's on the outside that matters most.
If it's a cat in danger of eating me, then yes, what is on the outside most definitely matters.
The cat actually comes up and it feels wet to the touch.
Oh, weird.
Like, do you know slime or goop?
Uh-huh.
Is that a thing wherever you guys live?
Oh, yes.
It sort of feels like that cold, clammy texture. And it kind of envelops your hand, slowly crawling up your arm. and you get the sense that it's looking for something,
Oh, interesting.
and it's hungry.
I might have a snack in my pocket. Let's see.
Do you
Kinda.
relate any of that feeling back to anybody else?
And everyone else, you're just seeing this cat sort of half envelop the musician's arm.
I'm gonna open
Musician.
my personal briefcase and I'm gonna take my flask out and I'm gonna toss it in the middle of the floor. I gotta stop drinking during class.
Is the teacher and the artist right next to each other?
I think
think they
Alana
are.
would be between us. We were
Okay,
both
okay.
looking at her.
Okay, all right, okay. And oh, wait. What? So you're grabbing out a snack?
Yeah, I'm searching my pockets. I'm sure I've got something, that I
What
could
kind of
share.
what kind of snacks would you have?
Probably like crackers, maybe some cheese, like something that I grabbed like leftovers from a cafe or whatever that me and my friends hung out at, or
Mm,
like I might
Canned
have
tuna, maybe.
well, I might have a cookie,
Just saying.
like a sugar cookie or something.
okay.
Oh, maybe some
As
trail mix.
as you take it out of your pocket, the cat seemingly looks at it for a moment before it extends one of its legs and tries to knock it out of your hand.
Oh my
Do you
gosh, I
let it
love this.
do you let it slip from your hand?
I mean, yeah, because cats do that. That's just a cat thing.
For
Like,
everyone else, yeah, okay. So you let it happen. You let it fall from your hands, and for everyone else, this is what you kind of see. You see the cat knock it out of Devon's hand, and then before it hits the ground, it seemingly slips back into Devon's hand, and the cat grows slightly bigger.
weird.
You guys can see clearly on its fur now. The word slip is kind of, I guess it's more prominent in its dark fur. This kind of silvery sheen. That looks like the word slip.
I'm taking pictures.
Okay. More and more cats are gathering around you. They've almost begun circling.
Um, musician person. Musician person, there are more of them now.
Yeah, that tends to happen when you're dealing with stray cats. First, there's like one or two, and then there's like 50.
Then why the hell did you feed it?
I told you.
Because it doesn't matter whether you feed them or not, there's always going to be more. That's just the nature of stray beasties.
Okay, a lot of executive decision. We should really get out of here right now, shouldn't we? I don't care if she has a head injury. I don't care if she has a concussion. If the cats eat her, she'll be even more dead.
Well, I'm sure that this would be okay, but it's up to her.
Miss Milou, they say it's up
She,
to you, but I'm seriously considering leaving.
she groans and pushes herself to stand. I don't think it's a good idea to stay around either. And she clutches
Nous
at the
sommes
brief.
dans l'accord. Let's go.
As you approach the next carriage, you're hearing a little bit of a louder ruckus. And if you were to peer through the window, you'd see somewhat of a small riot going. People clashing against each other, throwing each other against the walls, angrily screaming, panicking. As you see someone standing at the very center of the room. His skin. It's the gentleman that left this room. He looks a little bit different though. Half of his skin has turned golden, like metallic gold, shining golden, and it's kind of lost all his hair. His eyes closed, and on the other side, there's a blue skin, almost as if almost as if he had been frozen solid.
I am taking a picture.
And this is what your picture captures. Give me 1 second.
Well, I guess I'm thankful for this little snot busting in the way they did earlier.
Do you guys see the image? His hand seems to be clutched around a hole in his chest. And the words prayer, peace, and panic seem to be almost circling that hole.
Oh, cool.
What is everyone feeling as you guys kind of press up against the door?
Mystified. That is a visually mouth-watering scene.
Not much. It's a normal, odd day.
A normal odd day.
I have seen worse on these subways, alright?
And how about you, Devin? Devin, yes.
This is, I guess, Devin's kind of like upset a little bit by the scene because it's like people don't normally act like that. Normally they just kind of either ignore each other and as the sort of weird social peace thing. It's like, I don't talk to you, you don't talk to me, everything's neutral. Or like they genuinely enjoy being around each other. Like people tell stories and they make faces and just have a good time. So it's like people like rioting and stuff. That's like not cool.
So you're kind of wishing that they would get along. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys kind of bundle up against each other, there's a bit of a clash of what people are thinking and what people want. You get the sense that Devin, the musician, wants people to get along. You get the sense that Monty doesn't give a shit. He really doesn't give a shit. and no, sorry, Carson doesn't really give a shit. I'm sorry, the teacher doesn't give a shit. But Monty just wants to paint the scene. He wants to immortalize it. And for some reason, the words teach harmonious colors seem to pop into your heads. As if you can show them a better way of coexisting. Do you guys want to follow follow this line of thought?
Oh
Are you
yeah.
kidding? Of course.
Every interesting line of thought is worth following at least a little bit.
I would love to
No,
teach them
but-
all a lesson.
The visually dynamic ones definitely are.
Okay. And what these three words kind of escape your lips as you guys feel your tattoos almost wriggle and grow and shift on you, sliding over the world. Teach harmonious colors. What I'll get is for Devin and Carson, since you guys are contributing your augments, I'll get you to draw two cards. You're looking for spades, whereas Monty will be drawing 7 cards in total. 5 for his emissions, plus 1 card for each word you guys are adding. Now, the total number of cards drawn is all of yours together. So you guys are drawing 11 cards in total. So anything below 11, it takes its full successes. Spades. Let me know what you guys get.
6 for me.
6?
So we're only drawing 2 cards, right?
Yes, 2 cards. Looking for spades.
No spades.
No spades. How about you, good sir, the teacher?
0.
0. It doesn't quite get as far as you'd hoped, and what you kind of see now painting over the window is a scene of everyone getting along, of everyone being peaceful, but you can still hear the raucous fighting on the other side. But there's just new paint on this windowsill. Paint that wasn't there before. Paint that seemingly sprouted from your words, the words trailing from your mouth. You get a sense that you created that image.
Does it feel like paint?
It feels a little paint, but as you wipe, if you were to wipe your finger through it, words
As I
seem
do.
to, letters seem to trail off onto your fingers. Your words.
How do they taste?
You shouldn't eat paint, man.
I eat
It
paint all the
almost-
time. I don't know what you're talking about.
It tastes like paint.
Are we talking acrylic, oil-based, watercolor?
You should definitely never eat oils.
You know, you may be right.
It tastes like oils.
Okay, so they're making a lot of noise. If we manage to do something by talking at these people, it's probably not going all the way across the entirety of this because it's sound versus sound. But if we were to open the door and more loudly speak and talk about this, we might be able to get the sound to bounce. And wait, hold on. I'm going to grab a marker out of my pocket and start writing on the window, like trying to calculate the mathematical ability to basically slingshot the sound across.
Are you writing on the painting?
I have a question about
Because that's marvelous.
my my limitations as a musician.
What are your limitations as a musician? What are you asking?
Can I play the bagpipes?
You can play. You can totally have the bagpipes.
Sweet. I teach math isn't necessary. You want to get people's attention? Hold on a second. And I just want to like play just like a couple of notes really loudly as bagpipes do.
In an
So you-
enclosed space? What are you, crazy?
If you're going to play loudly, would you at least play something respectable or something entertaining? Dropkick Murphys or, something real?
Okay, so musician, you've got a choice here.
Okay.
You can make a force plus acting check just to be as loud as you can, or a charm plus acting to make it sound nice but still be heard. But what is the intent of this action? Is it to get their attention?
Yeah, it's to get their attention, but I understand people's general
Just like
look, bagpipes can be super cool. But yes, I am fully aware of people's prejudice against bagpipes, so I want it to be audible but also not terrible.
so, I'll get you to make the charm plus acting check then. You're looking for hearts. Remember,
Okay.
you guys can reshuffle whenever you'd like right now, but the cats are getting closer.
Okay. So that is 6 cards for me.
Yep.
Okay, so I got 3 hearts, I got a 5, a 3, and a 4.
You managed to play the bagpipes loudly, but not obnoxiously, obviously. I don't have sound clips for bagpipes, so I can't play them for you. And if I had known earlier, I would have sourced them. But essentially, everyone in the room opposite stops fighting each other, and the heads almost turn in unison, looking at you.
Hiya. We good?
They began to lunge for the door. They become like almost racing towards this carriage, scrambling over each other. What would you guys like to do?
Now listen here. All of you are going to take a seat and we're going to go over your issues one at a time. You will listen to me now.
Oh, yes, in great detail, and I will write them down.
Okay. So, now as a thing, what you did before with the painting was a very small little pause. Are you trying to do another one? Would you guys like to do another one? Or are you just trying to use your voice to calm them down? If you're trying to do that, I'll get you, teacher, to make a charm plus manipulation.
What?
Try
No,
and
no,
calm.
no. His idea sounds brilliant. We definitely need to get them down and talking so I can get lots of juicy gossip. How do we do that?
No, I'm going to try and manipulate. Drew 4 cards and I got a 2 and a 4 on hearts.
Okay, 6 success. Let me roll against it.
No, don't roll against it. I just win.
Okay.
That's not how this works.
Your words don't quite reach them. Not just yet. They're still on the other side. And do you open the door for them?
It's cracked, but it's not open.
Okay. You're
Okay.
starting to see as they
Now,
get
do you want to
closer.
help? They would be Wonder Twin powers.
You actually see on their foreheads the word panic.
Well, that's not good.
Oh.
As now they're close enough for you to see. They're desperately trying to pull open the door. Unless
Hey,
you guys...
my roommate got to them too. I was the only one he tattooed a word on his forehead.
Do we have anything to jam this closed with? What could we do?
Look, I mean, like, they're just scared. So we could just, you know.
I'm gonna grab both of them and I'm gonna be like, look, they all need to sit down. You need to help me try and close this door, but they all need to sit down and we need to work together on this.
Okay. So now, if you like to suggest a pause, you've got three core topics that you can use. You can use colors, you can use breath, and you can use math as the core subject of the magic. If you can convince me of any combination of these words, any combination of all your words together, of getting any of these goals achieved, let me know. For example, you could go for tired breath to windle them, to get them to actually sit down. But yes, have a bit of a think. You guys, everyone else, you gain the intent from Carson that he wants them to stop moving, that he wants the doors to be shut, that he wants to stop them from getting in.
Okay,
And
so if we color over the doors, they won't be able to see where to get in.
What? Okay, hold on. What about old, tired, and breath?
Good work. Now, in order to get them to slow down for a turn, you need 7 successes. If you'd like to stop them completely, 14 successes. For this kind of pause, Devon would be drawing 7 cards, and Monty and Carson would be drawing 2 cards each. You'd be looking for hearts.
I got 2 spades. I needed spades earlier. I got hearts. I need hearts now. I got 2 spades.
But do you agree to this pause? You guys don't have to agree to this idea.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
Yeah. I already drew for it and I got horrible stuff.
Yeah.
We want hearts under what?
Under under 10. It doesn't matter. Because basically, what you guys are doing is one big check together.
I
Working
got
as a
6
team.
successes.
Okay, 6 successes. And how about you, MrsRPGHour? Sorry, I don't have your name
Sorry.
written down, so I keep referring.
It's okay. I can see it better this way. So I only drew 2 hearts and I drew a 3 and a 5.
3 and 5. So that's 8 in total. You've got,
Okay.
what is that, 14?
14.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just enough to put them down. Not like put them down, but
Yeah.
Get them-
It's like, no.
get them to sit down. You guys actually noticed this. As you guys were thinking about this magic, time seemed to slow down for you guys. Ever so slightly. Enough for you guys to actually think and discuss this. It was more like Carson, the teacher, was shouting into your heads what he wanted done.
Oh, he's got such a loud voice. I can't take it.
And at the end of this, the words old, tired breath seemed to escape your lips, breathing in the teacher's own fatigue into these people, these panicking, scared, angry people on the other side of the door. It slips through the crack and fills their lungs. And suddenly, they're panting heavily. Most of them drop to the floor.
That seemed to work, Old Bean.
Well,
The half
sorry, go.
But the half-toned man, the gold and blue man, is still standing still on the other side.
What's he doing?
He seems like half his teeth are chattering, and the other half is perfectly still. His blue side is shaking as if it's super cold, gripped over his heart, but he doesn't seem to respond to anything. His eyes
Hey.
darting around.
Do you mind if I paint you?
There's no response.
So I just have a question. Are you gonna pull out a canvas and an easel and set up in these red lights and try to paint right now?
Of
Or
course not. Look at him. He's
are you gonna
freezing.
take
I'm definitely going to take him back to my studio, get him some nice space heaters on him, and then I'll paint him with my canvas.
Oh, okay. Well, I was also just gonna ask, or do you mean actually physically painting this person? Because I hang out with this one artist who just totally does that.
He is not a nubile young female. I don't do that to non-nubile young females.
That's
People don't like that kind of thing if it's not
really
a nubile young
restrictive
female.
of your vision, man.
No, it's
You
not me. It's not
A little
me.
creepy.
I have to respect the needs of my audience, and for some reason, they don't like guys.
Audience doesn't like guys.
I've talked it over with my roommate. He says it's perfectly natural. I don't understand it, but what can a guy do?
Your passion. Do you kids not understand? Do you not learn this? Follow your heart, your passion, your soul. Otherwise, you'll live every day in horror.
You're kind
tried
of
that.
preaching to the choir.
Doesn't work very well.
I play bagpipes for a living.
Now you need to discover something better for your life.
I don't know. Their bagpipe playing was actually quite lovely.
And they may all have broken eardrums after this.
Were
That's
you listening to it? It
really
was
fun and
quite
just
lovely.
What?
I think that might just be due to age.
Oh,
I think I heard that.
I think you're right.
Are still behind you, by the way, as you guys are talking. And
I'm sorry, who are still behind us?
cats.
Oh,
Three
the-
cats.
Ooh, the creepy cats.
Yes, the creepy cats.
Don't remind me of the cats. Hi. Stay on your side of the car over there. Please?
So I guess we can move into this car now. Because everybody's relaxed or sleepy. Sometimes it's
Sleeping on
hard
the
to
floor.
tell.
What about Miss Milieu? Is she still
She-
all right?
She's actually in a little bit of a tug of war with the cats over the briefcase.
What?
Yes. The cats have latched on. Not in a cat-like fashion at all. Parts of their bodies are basically sticking and pulling on the suitcase.
Well, she did say she was going to get fired if she didn't have it. I suppose it makes sense. As far as the cats, though, that's strange.
Hmm.
So, Miss Alana, do you need help?
So, Teach,
Yeah.
you're like super old school. Do you got any chalk on you?
Well, of course, I always have.
Because that's a thing.
In my in my bag, I actually have some boards. On one side, it's chalk based, and on the other, it's dry erase. And I've got a couple of those, and I've got like a box of chalk and a couple of dry erase markers. Why
Oh.
is there something that you'd like to learn? And I'll pull them out chalk side and put a piece of chalk on
Get it
the
away
musician's
from me.
side.
That's all dusty and yucky.
Now, if you want to learn how to do this new kind of math, you start with this and just start droning into something.
Oh, and now he's drawing on the with the
So, I just need the dust from the chalk. Because, like, when you have like sticky stuff like gum or weird non Newtonian cats, sometimes you just need like a little bit of talc to just kind of ease it out.
That last little statement about cats is sort of redundant.
You're saying that cats are always non-Newtonian.
I mean, have you not seen them try and lay in a bowl?
You know, I think I heard something about that. I'm going to write that down.
Well, I guess here, take this chalk that I just drew all this on, and you could use that dust.
Okay, yeah, so it's just like a little sprinkling to kind of try to lubricate the briefcase a bit to make it harder to stick on because there's like a layer preventing any further stickage. Might can help it slide off a bit.
As you slide the talcum powder, no, the chalk powder, I should say, onto the briefcase, the cat's grip loosens ever so slightly, and it lets go, sending Alana sprawling back into whoever was behind her. The briefcase flung out of her hands, and it hits a wall. The lock's breaking.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go collect her briefcase. Who did she fall into?
Who would you? Who wants to take?
I'll catch
damage?
you.
Okay, make me a. Let's go with force and athletics to catch her, and not fall over under her weight.
Anything but that.
Finesse, finesse, and athletics to dodge out of the way.
Fine, I'll try to catch her. You said force plus athletics,
Yes, force and athletics.
and I'm rolling for clubs, or drawing for clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I drew 3 cards, and I drew a 2 and a 3 of clubs, so that's 5 successes.
So you manage to steady her as she falls back.
Oh, this was such a bad idea. I'm so lucky.
Mm-hmm. And at least from the musician's point of view, you see a bunch of papers in there, as well as what looks to be a gun and a black vial. We're filled with sloshing liquid. There's a tiny paw print that appears just against the glass.
Is it a revolver or a semi-automatic pistol?
It's a
Oh,
hand.
good.
Let's go for a revolver.
Okay, then I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to... Now, you do not want to carry these loaded. This can be a hazard. It's not like there's real dangers going on right now anyway.
You've now obtained a loaded gun.
Slime cats. What? But okay. I'm gonna just try to like collect the rest of her things in the briefcase and kind of pack it up because this is her personal business and like you shouldn't violate someone's.
Say, is that ink in there?
As you reach out for the vial, yes, it is indeed ink.
Oh,
The cat's eyes almost all like creepily kind of lock onto the vial.
oh. I don't like that. Here, Miss Malou, why don't you take the vial?
Just, I was just like, what the hell is this?
It was in your briefcase, wasn't it?
Right. Yes. Yes. Um,
In all my
She's-
years of teaching, the way you're talking right now makes me think that this was never your briefcase. Now, who did you steal it from, and why do you have it?
Oh, now, maybe she didn't steal it. Maybe she was told to look after it by her boss. Why don't you explain for us, Miss Malou?
um, she stands a little bit. Well, okay, it is company property. Yes, that is true. But I did not personally pack this briefcase. It was stolen from us, and I.
Do you even really work for the same company that this came from? I probably don't think so.
You untrusting man.
It was
Untrusting
stolen
person,
and
yes.
It was
Sorry.
stolen. Look, long story short, someone
Stolen by
blackmailed
you.
me.
Uh-huh.
I needed to pay a lot of money to get back, and it's a lot of money from company resources.
What? Do tell.
This is not Sunday afternoon gossip.
Fine.
I mean, but it like
I'm not
could
writing it in
be.
my thing, but I'm recording it on my cell phone on the sly.
Now,
Now tell.
Make me a finesse plus larceny check to do the same unnoticed.
Anything but that.
And as you're talking, the cats are getting closer and closer to this woman still holding the vial.
Oh, you
They
said it was
look-
finesse plus larceny, didn't you?
look,
Yes.
Well, crap. I made no successes.
if you don't need the vial, then just throw it out. It seems to be all the cats want.
So
Make
I'm
me-
recording not so much on the sly, but it's more like I'm recording so everyone in the entire car can see me. Even the cats
Okay.
tusk their, click their tongues at me.
It's like a selfie cam, like you're just like posing for it. But you do see. Actually, make me a charm plus manipulation, teacher.
Okay,
Oh,
that's...
sure. He gets to make the charm check.
He's making the charming choices.
And that's hearts, and oh, come on. Two
Are you drawing a
spades, a
He's drawing a
diamond.
diamond. Okay. So
I get a
with the
diamond.
diamond, there's something called potential in this game. And what potential does is that whenever you draw a diamond, you can spend 1 point of your potential to turn any card in your hand into one of the correct suit. Now, I haven't brought this up before because I didn't think anything was important enough to spend this limited resource on. But would you like to change any of your cards into a heart?
Yes, I will go ahead and change the 4 of diamonds, which will give me 4 successes.
Okay, so now pop the 4 of diamonds into your remove pile. This returns to you at the end of the scene,
Okay.
so it's no longer part of your deck. And for the time being, I'll also just snatch it into my hand so it doesn't get reshuffled accidentally. Okay, and you see Alana. She's looking at the cat. She hasn't really looked into you, and she just tosses it out to the other end of the train. Great. Great. And the cats almost scramble after it, leaving the 4 of you alone.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Have Mama clean you up, and you can have popcorn, okay?
Okay.
Go see Mama. So what do the cats do as soon as she throws that vial?
They kind of scramble after it, chasing it, the vial as it clatters down the train hallway.
See? Problem solved. No more creepy cats. Everybody is sitting down over there.
So what was that vial anyway? It wasn't something important, was it?
I don't know. All I was told that is something they had stolen something from our company, research files.
Well, Crumb, it's probably important, isn't it?
All it is ink. It's probably some kind of new space age ink. One of those things where you can take your pen and write upside down, or who knows.
Hey, ink is a perfectly valid medium.
And you
I
know
don't know if
what?
it's worth risking my life over that.
And you know what's a really amazing thing? A pencil, or chalk, or dry erase. And you can erase them, and you can redo things. But a pen, you can't. And it's like life. You can always fix your mistakes if you work hard enough at it. But with pen, it's the kind of mistakes that you can never come back from. Don't focus your life on those kind of mistakes. Now, where did my flask go?
Sadly, I can't argue with you on that.
And it doesn't take long before you hear the cracking of glass as the cats break the vial.
Okay, now I'm morbidly curious what's happening now.
Well, peek your head out.
I may be sticking my phone out to record.
What you see is a tiny little cat pouring out from the liquid, the broken flask.
Wait, there's a cat inside the vial?
Yes.
Well, no wonder they wanted it so badly.
Did you say that out
I hope
loud?
they don't eat people. Yes, I say everything out loud. I have no filter. It's a thing.
A cat came out of the vial. Now, this is just getting too wild. We need to try and see what the transit people say. Is there a transit phone around here?
There is.
Wow, that's a good idea.
I'm going to pick it up and try and ring anyone. Hello? We're stuck back here. There's something weird going on. People got in a riot. I guess it's Tuesday. And there's some kind of weird cat situation back here.
There has been an unexpected accident on the tracks. Please remain in your seats and await further instruction.
No, I'm looking to talk to a person, not the recording again.
There has been an unexpected accident on the tracks. Please remain on your seats and await further instruction.
I don't remember
If you'd
falling through a tunnel. Is this some kind of weird Alice in Wonderland situation?
Yeah, and then another message pops up afterwards. The operator cannot be reached at this point in time.
All right, somebody broke something. Who did what?
Any luck? What did it say?
The same message that came over the intercoms earlier, and then something about how the operator can't be reached.
Oh, well, that's bad. It was a smashing idea, though.
You
I
see,
know, I thought of it.
if you were watching the cat still, you see them circling the tiny little cat before taking turns, almost taking a bite out of it.
Ugh! They're cannibal cats!
And you see the cat's growing slightly bigger.
Oh! They're growing!
Look, as long as they're just cannibals, the rest of us will be fine.
I never said they didn't eat people. They just eat cats, too. Ink cats. Weird, six-eyed ink cats.
Well, why don't you
And then they
pour
grow
some
bigger.
of your own?
It's a problem.
If they like ink, then why don't you just pour your pens out the window?
I work in oils.
You argued about ink earlier, and now you're saying that you work in oils.
It's a valid life choice is all I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with it.
A valid life choice is choosing between something like a sandwich for the day. Arguing with somebody over ink versus oils, or arguing over that ink is something that should be treasured and you only work in oils, is just baffling. Why? You kids these days.
I
That's-
don't see any benefit in arguing this with someone who carries chalk in their pockets. Do you know what that does to your suit?
It is in a box. And in my briefcase, not my pants pocket. In my pants pocket is a cell phone, a watch,
Where did you wipe your hand?
on this handy dandy microfiber rag. Rags have always been great. Now microfiber
well,
gets in. It gets a
Bravo
little bit
you.
deep
Now, where'd you put the rag?
into a special pocket on my briefcase.
Touche.
You can hear a little bit of groaning from Alana as she's clutching her forehead, which is now it seems like a little bit of ink is marring it.
Wait, on
And-
Alana?
Yeah, on Alana. Perhaps that during the altercation with the cat, someone splattered on her.
I don't think this is from the concussion.
Let me look at it.
You see the ink slowly worming its way into the wound,
Oh no.
traveling underneath.
Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. We need to do something. Maybe it's like snake poison. Try and suck it out.
Most inks aren't poisonous. Well, okay. Is it an older ink or a newer ink?
You don't know. Double thumbs up.
Hmm.
But you see it weaving its way down underneath his skin, right behind
It's
your
acting
ear.
funny though. That's for sure.
Well, suck it out and spit it like venom.
Do you mind if I suck your wound, Alana? I am asking permission to perform a gross act on your person.
Can I get you to make a intelligence plus medic check, both of you?
You could ask. That
Intelligence.
doesn't mean we'll make it.
And this
And we're
is-
rolling for spades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing for me. Your booger's back.
I see. I got one success. I got a 6 and I drew 4.
Mm.
Well, yes, okay. So you don't get any new information, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But I guess you could. You actually see little marks appearing behind her ear as she groans.
Well, that's
As-
not good.
You see the words mark, secure, organized, and efficient emerge. And as you're looking at the wound, you're starting to feel the grogginess that she's feeling.
Oh, you mean like when I felt irritated when I touched Mr. Irritation over here?
Yes, absolutely.
That feels familiar. Hey, Mr. Irritation, why don't you touch her and see what happens?
That sounds wrong, but okay.
You children and your way of wording things. And you're just treating people like they're nothing.
Oh, you should talk.
Well, I will then. You see,
No, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Please don't.
I will cautiously touch the wound.
Again, you get the sense of grogginess, like everything's a bit foggy, a little bit dazed, that she just wants to be out of here. You're pretty sure that she's also feeling doom from having lost her job.
I've had too much to drink. I just feel a little groggy over here, and it just feels like a downer.
And she also feels feverish.
Oh, well, that's not good.
No, it's not.
How are you feeling, Alana? Sick?
She nods slowly, groggily. Can we get out of here?
Did you still have some of that drink?
Me?
Yes, you.
There's still some in the flask, sure.
Hey, hand it here. Please.
All right.
Here. Take a sip of this, Alana.
She takes a little sip. And she slowly rolls to her feet.
I help her up.
What's happening in the other carriage?
That is an excellent question. Hey, Mr. Irritating. What's happening in the other carriage?
Well, I don't go by Mister, but I will go take a look.
Oh, my bad. What do you go by?
Mix. And it's not Sir, it's Saram. But I will go take a look.
Mix Irritating. Good Saram. What's happening in the other carriage?
As you look at the other carriage, you can see that the man hasn't stayed still, but it almost looks like at the far end, the carriage beyond that is completely dark. Crushed, even. There may not be a train carriage beyond that one.
Looks like the subway cars are kind of, looks like it's just the one in front of us, and we were the last one, right? I don't think there's anything behind us.
Wait, what
Yes.
do you mean? They're not there?
You ever crushed a soda can? That's kind of what it looks like.
Oh, Twitter is hearing about this tonight.
Is that your significant other?
You might say that. Actually, that's pretty fair. Yes.
Okay. It's good that in these times you have somebody to share it with and talk about things with. But what we need to do
That's
right
so
now,
true.
we need to move forward. And I don't literally mean forward. I mean, we need to get out of the train car. We need to try and get somewhere. Try and see if there isn't a way to safety.
Well, Alana seems to be moving slowly, but she is moving.
She is. How would you guys like to try to get out of the train?
Well, the cats kind of did a swishy swirly thing with the window. Can we do that?
Speaking of the cast, you notice them slowly slinking out of the windows, leaving the train cart empty. They seemingly have gotten what they came here for.
That is definitely not good, but it's also not our problem right now. So, let's get out of here.
Would you like to try open the doors?
Well, that would be way too easy and would make way too much sense. Yeah, you're probably right.
I'll try and assist him to open it.
Okay. Can I get you guys to make a force and athletics check together?
Anything but that.
Woo!
3 cards. I got 2 successes.
With those 2 successes, and did the artist gain anything?
I actually got 2.
Okay. With those 4 successes, yeah, you guys managed to wrench open the doors, sliding them open. All on the exterior of the train there is a lot of ink, but no sign of the cats. It appears the tunnel behind you is clear.
Okay, let me help you down from the step, Alana. Let's go. The musician's with us, right?
Absolutely.
I'm going to take a handkerchief out of my pocket and I'm going to wipe it over some of the ink. Does it operate like does it operate like ink, or does it operate more like the slime description from earlier?
It operates like ink. It's no longer moving, if that's what you're asking.
More about consistency.
It's a little bit thicker than you'd expect, but still within the realms of normal.
Okay.
And with that, I guess you enter the tunnels. It takes you guys a little while to get back to the edge of the tunnel, but you can feel something different in the air, like the city's changed. Can I get you guys to make a perception check?
Sure. Is it insight or intelligence for perception on this one?
Insight.
All right. Four and I need a spade. Four and I need a spade. I got one success.
Okay.
3 successes for me.
And with that, you guys can sort of see that there's this large, hulking metallic mass that's sort of risen over the skyline, pulling up cars and bits of the city up into this, I guess this cube. The world has changed since your time in the tunnel. And the city seems to be empty save for yourselves. The 4 of you, Alana, Devon, Carson, and the last one, and Monty. Welcome to Nominal City. And we're going to end the session there.
Awesome.
No.
They just came back. Well, I guess that's the end of the planned module. I hope you guys had fun. I hope the mechanics made some sort of sense to you.
Oh, they were awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get it at first, but once I got it, that's really cool. I like it a lot.
I love the way cooperation just meshes into the mechanics so well.
Yeah, there's a lot of games out there that there isn't anything that really, like, the rules either aren't there for it, but I like that, it's right in there. I also like that one thing that gets me about some card games is how, like, the suits and the way that the cards work don't always seem to, like, flow as nicely as what this was. It was really nice that, how each of those worked. I also like the fact that you can also use a stat or image with an aptitude that's not in the same. That's kind of a
category.
Yeah, that's nice. Because I know some games, it's if it's in another category, if it's in another slot, it's not happening. So, but I don't know. I think that's a lot of fun. I've already backed. I've already backed the Kickstarter. I can't wait for this to come out in full force. So one thing that I guess I was gonna ask, because I don't see it on here. So the characters that you came up with, artist, athlete, tradesman, musician, teacher, student, that's something that you yourself came up with. That's not like any kind of like predetermined thing that's going to be in the book.
It's nothing that's predetermined, so these stat sheets will be included. The idea is that you come together with a character idea and you tell a story to your table. And that word pool down at the bottom left is what your table builds up for the character. So you build it up as a group, and rather than just one person filling it out, everyone fills it out together equally. So everyone's a little bit invested into each other's characters and the stories that they tell, because the words don't just come from the characters themselves, but also the people around them, how they describe them, which is why sometimes there's not so pleasant words like evil in the teachers category, if you happen to see that.
Yes.
I guess the idea is to have a discussion about who your character actually is and what they mean and what they could be. And then you slowly build up the stats, and you actually pick out the cards for your deck. And so you can always balance out how you want your character to play. If you want them to be a bit more on the social side, you add more hearts. If you want them to be a bit more on the thinking side, you add more spades. If you want them to be more punchy, fighty, then more clubs. But it all draws back to who they are. And the cards are supposed to represent how these characters think or how they approach any situation. A good GM will say that if you fail, they'll ask to see your hand and see what cards are in there. If there's a lot of clubs, you could have been a bit too hands-on. If you had a little bit, if you had too many hearts, you were shit-talking a little bit too much, or you were, in the teacher's case, giving everyone a lecture.
I love that you can build your own deck. Yeah, that's awesome.
I also really like that it's not just your abilities that you're using whenever you're playing the cards. It's how your character is interacting with the situation that influence throughout. It's not just stats at that point. It's how your character
Once to approach it.
interacts with the world, which I think is really cool.
Mm. I think that's very important for most role-playing games because otherwise you might as well be playing a RPG. You know what I mean? Like a computer game
Yeah.
if you can't interact in that fashion. But that's just a personal thought. So before you said that you had a king in your deck. So basically, what those face cards are their conditions.
Yes.
So if you really want to succeed, you can take like conditions on your character, and they're usually bad things that are
Oh.
happening to the character, like they've sprained an ankle, or they've broken an arm, or they're blind in one eye. And basically, they add dead cards into the deck with special effects. But you
Cool.
basically take them in as a trade for extra successes. So if you really want something done, then you take those.
Cool.
But there's a couple mechanics that I did take out of this game for the one shots because there's too much to go through. But have you I guess they're more closer to the feats or whatever they're called in D&D, like the special little perks that they can do. And there's a lot of fun ones, like one of them tells you to play with your deck upside down. And others make aces do different things, but basically there's a lot more customization that isn't showed in this one shot.
Interesting.
But it's mostly because this was built for convention play.
Right.
So I can drag a couple players in, play it with me, and then get them the gist of the system, the important parts.
Right.
But yeah.
I should have leaned more into intelligence and insight because that's where all of my cards. I had 5 spades, 2 diamonds.
Yep. But yeah. Oh, wait, you've actually got 3 diamonds. Yep. Returning that stolen card.
Oh, that's right. The stolen card from earlier. Completely forgot about that. Never mind.
But yeah, so this game is more designed for long form. As you build up your deck as the campaign grows and you get stronger, you change cards out. You also get quotes based on the most memorable thing in the session, and you supposedly write it on the card. And what it does is whenever that quote is relevant, you draw an extra card.
Oh, that's cool.
So the idea is that you build up a story of who your character is with this deck, and that no one else can borrow your cards.
That's really cool.
But yeah, I think that's Parselings in a nutshell. You got very much the full experience apart from those things.
Loved it. It was very good.
Well, as soon as OBS is done giving me the file, this will be out available on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're listening to this as a podcast, this is all going to be edited and put out in those different directions. If you get to see this, it is 10/3 today. It should be out on YouTube either tonight or tomorrow at the latest. But Parselings has 4 days left on the Kickstarter. If you're hearing this on podcast, then I'm hoping that I'm able to rip the audio from this easily. I've been having issues with that lately. For some reason, the audio doesn't want to come off of videos very easy. And so I'll try and get that as soon as possible. It is way beyond the goal right now at this point. And so, there's no fret or worry at this point in regards to will it be funded. It's just more of a how long until we get this type of thing.
So hopefully with the PDFs, we'll be able to get them to you within the next month or so. There's just some final typo cleanups that we need to do. But the books themselves will vary depending on shipping because coronavirus is kind of trashed that. But, nothing we can do there. We can only do what we can.
And to go over to the tiers right quick, if you're hearing this before it ends, for $20, it is the digital, it's the PDF copies. It's the core book and the Inframemorial Station.
Which is what we ran today.
And then for $45, it's and this is American dollars. My thing is automatically translating over.
It's American, yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's also coming from. Yep. For 45, you can get the physical book and the PDF core. For 85, you get PDFs of both the core and the memorial station, and physicals of the core rulebook, the memorial station, and a deck of cards. And then the last tier on here, unless you're a retailer, if you're a retailer, there is a special tier for y'all. The last tier is called Push. It's $150. It's a deck of cards, both PDFs, both physical books, 5 limited edition pens, an animal pun to inspire an NPC card, and an NPC template deck, if I could speak. Also, those some of the stuff that I've added on or talked about are called add-ons as well. So you can get
more decks of cards, really.
yeah, you get decks of cards. It looks like NPC templates available on that, and an encounter prompt deck that's just adding 15 to the cost. So if y'all are looking at that and y'all are interested, that is definitely out there. In regards to stretch goals, I think let me take a
We
look.
hit all of them.
I was gonna say I think all of them are hit. So the stretch goals are mobs and mobs, 6 generic NPC cards, impromptu schemes, development of extra GM rules for quick scenario builds, punny pets, 6 lingua.
So lingua like the cats that we encountered today.
Okay.
As an explanation.
Quick NPC cards, and then random encounters has been unlocked. A GM prompt deck. Urban Legends, new mystery pledge unlocked. So that is the extra things out there. And I also do apologize. I'm trying to get all through this. I have allergies today, and my allergy pill did not help alleviate a whole lot of it. So I am congested talking through all this. But that is Parselings. This was us playing Parselings, and hope y'all enjoyed.